Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. Our lead story this morning is regarding Google teaching their employees that listening to Ben Shapiro, let's see if I can make it through this, leads to genocide. I'm not even kidding. I mean, this truly shows how batshit crazy the left are, but I digress. This comes from our friends over at the Daily Wire. If you're not already a member, please go over and become a subscriber today. This is written by Tim Pierce, and he titles it, Google is teaching employees that listening to the Ben Shapiro Show leads to genocide. There's no way I'm making it through this whole thing. I have yet to really read it. I only read the first intro, and I said I got to do a show on this. The tech giant Google is holding anti-racist training for its employees that claims a direct link exists between listening to Ben Shapiro, editor of the Daily Wire and host of the Ben Shapiro Show, and committing mass murder. Oh my God. These people are idiots. The training also places former President Donald Trump on a list of ideas and people that lead to genocide, along with apolitical beliefs and phases such as all lives matter. Shapiro, Trump, and the rest all contribute to normalization of racism that eventually inspires mass shooters and leads to the genocide of entire people groups. According to a slide of the training curriculum obtained by the Manhattan Institute, Christopher Rufo, another graphic titled The White Supremacy Pyramid, who knew such a thing even existed, advances the idea that conservative commentator Ben Shapiro is a foundation of white supremacy and that Donald Trump is moving society on a path towards mass murder and genocide. Holy crap, this is real. I mean, it's real. We have a slide from it. Some of this stuff on here is ridiculous. Anti-immigration policies is somehow racist. Police brutality, that could be racism depending on the individual. Tokenism, denial of racism. I mean, this is all the way at the bottom here. You go up at the top is lynching. It's just like, this stuff is nuts, man. It's completely nuts. Look at this other one here. The white supremacy pyramid. Indifference, minimization, vile racism, discrimination, calls for violence, mass murder. See, it just escalates, folks. It just escalates. It's like Maslow's law. It's just unbelievable here. It goes on to say, Shapiro was the top target of anti-Semitism on Twitter amongst journalists in 2016, and he slammed the Google training, quoting, all it would take is one Google search to learn just how much white supremacists hate my work or how often I've spoken out against their benighted philosophy, Shapiro told Rufo in City Journal. The attempt to link everyone to the right of Hillary Clinton to white supremacism is disgusting, untrue, and malicious. And he's absolutely right. The guy's been targeted left and right by white supremacists. He's a freaking Jew, folks. He's not going to be on the side of white supremacy. And it's just unbelievable how the left continually target conservatives and those on the right as racist. Remember, the Democrat Party is the party of racism, folks. Let's not forget that. They try to manipulate history and do revisionist history to say that, there was some big switch. There was a switch. The switch happened in the 1930s and the 80s. But it doesn't mean people are racist. And the big switch didn't happen exactly at the same time where Republicans went to Democrats, Democrats went to Republicans. It didn't work out that way. So this whole manipulation is absolutely nuts, but it's not going to stop Google from doing trainings, these leftist trainings that are indoctrinating people. Employees go through the training and are taught that the United States is a system of white supremacy and that Americans are raised to be racist from infancy through adulthood. Rufo writes in City Journal that the racial re-education program is based on the core tenets of critical race theory, including intersectionality, white privilege, and systemic racism. These are all core tenets of CRT, and I've done a ton of videos on that, so I'm not going to repeat myself. If you want to see that, it's in the video catalog, but CRT is being taught in schools, and people are lying about it. I did a breakdown video of Ben Shapiro debating somebody on Bill Maher regarding CRT and just the lies that the left continue to push here. The training features prominent anti-racist activists such as the New York Times, Nikolai Hannah-Jones, and Boston University professor Ibram X. Kennedy. Hannah-Jones is the creator of the Times 1619 Project, an effort to reframe the founding of the United States and replace the Declaration of Independence with the institution of slavery. The 1619 Project has been roundly rejected by scholars of the United States and its founding. It's completely been eviscerated. I mean, they go so far in the 1619 Project that they correlate traffic jams with racism. I'm not even kidding. If you look it up, If you look it up, the 1619 Project talks about how traffic jams are racist. Everything is racist. The milk carton's racist. Egg shells are racist. You know, anything nowadays can be. The light that I'm using here is racist. Everything is freaking racist if it doesn't go with the leftist narrative. Kendi, who runs the Center for Anti-Racist Research at Boston University, I mean, did anybody knew that BU had an anti-racist research center? Did anybody know that? What a waste of money. I wouldn't go to Boston University just because of that. There's a lot of other things that we can invest our dollars in as we're going to these universities, not anti-racist. We live in the most anti-racist time ever in the United States. Unbelievable stuff these people are just throwing cash at. Claims that unequal outcomes rather than unequal treatment is what defines racism. See, it's all been manipulated nowadays. Because America is racist and was founded on white supremacy, everything unravels from that. Even unequal outcomes. So because you don't have the same outcome as somebody else that led you to have that outcome is now racist within themselves, even though it was unintended. You taking that job of an African American or a person of color or somebody else, a minority, you just taking that person's job, you are now a racist, which is truly odd because you have leftists all the time that are taking other people's jobs, and maybe they deserve that job, but they're not considered racist in their own right. But they just created a disparity. They just created an unequal outcome based on some sort of event taking place, and that leads them to be racist. It's truly, truly astonishing thinking. It's what defines racism. In Google's training, Kendi claims that to be raised in the United States is to be raised to be racist. And to be raised to be racist is to be raised to almost be addicted to racist ideas. This is like some freaking nutso, like cult type thinking that these people believe in. It is nuts, man. He says that racism must be treated like a serious illness, and those claiming to not be racist are only in denial. So this is where critical race theory comes into play, 1619 Project, that you are inherently racist. Even if you deny that you're racist, you are still racist, according to Ibram X. Kendi here. As same as 1619 Project, Nicole Hannah-Jones. It's just the leftist indoctrination is going nuts, where they put you in this trap where nothing you can do is going to get you out of being a racist. So you're just racist no matter what. So it's unbelievable. I mean, and who likes racist? Nobody likes racist. I have yet to meet a person in my life now in 2020, 2021 that's going, oh, racism is good. Racism is a positive thing towards society. Nobody talks like that. Maybe somebody that's still alive that's super old that went through that era and that time, but society's changed dramatically. Nobody's for racism. I don't know why you need a research department for that, but you know, this is what people want to spend money on. Quote, for me, the heartbeat of racism is denial, and the sound of that denial is, I'm not racist, Kendi says. Certainly, it's critically important to step for Americans to no longer be in denial about their own racism or the racism of this country. But it doesn't matter, because even if you're denied or have a denial about racism because you're not a racist, you're still a racist no matter what. But this is unbelievable. I mean, they linked Trump and Ben Shapiro to genocide and to white supremacy. This has gone too far, folks. It's gone too far, but is it surprising? We're talking about Google here. I mean, they're the one that are banning conservatives left and right. You have big tech banning conservatives, censoring conservatives left and right. And it's funny, too, because you get the left going out there on these outlets going, oh, they're targeting the left. Big tech is constantly censoring the left. It's like, really? We're supposed to believe in that crap? I mean, it's every week that somebody's getting banned off Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. That's a conservative. We could do solely a show a day on every single conservative that's consistently being banned or suspended off big tech. Every single day, we could do it. But with that being said, Google is teaching employees that listening to Ben Shapiro leads to genocide. Truly astonishing stuff here, folks. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please make sure you like and subscribe to this video. Share it with your friends and family. Hey, just toss a text to somebody that you know is a conservative and say, hey, check this guy out. He needs subscribers. Send it to their friends. Word of mouth will help us grow here on this show. And folks, thank you so much for leaving me your lovely comments. I do love reading them. And with that being said, I will see you tomorrow here on The Bald Brad Show.